So there's this video that I just saw on YouTube. Actually, I saw it on Facebook, and I haven't made a video in a while, so I thought, why not analyze this one? So let's take a look.
Dude, hey, what's up? What you reading? The Bible. You're reading the Bible? Yeah. Dude, why are you reading the Bible? For class? No, I just... Okay, so you're...
So right off the bat, the rude atheist is interrupting the nice little Christian boy reading his Bible, and this part, the intro, serves to make you dislike the atheist and like the Jesus freak.
Just reading the Bible. You're just sitting here in a coffee shop in the 21st century using state-of-the-art technology to read ancient myths for no reason whatsoever. Well... Tell me something. Are you one of...
Valid question, but as soon as the nice little Christian boy wanted to say something, the rude bad guy in this video interrupts him again.
Those super religious people who thinks Jesus actually rose from the dead? Well, I do believe that. You also believe in the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, unicorns, Bigfoot.
Blah, blah, blah.
And do you buy into all those other ancient myths about dying and rising gods invented by primitive nomadic tribes back in the Bronze Age? No. Okay, so what's the difference between Jesus rising from the dead and all those other fairy tales? Here's the difference.
And here comes the important part. So let's see the difference.
My belief in the resurrection of Jesus is rational.
No, it's not. It definitely is not rational.
It's based on historical facts.
No, it's not. It's definitely not based on any facts whatsoever.
Facts? What facts?
Exactly.
Well, first, Jesus died by crucifixion. Whoa.
No, he didn't.
Well, hold on. We don't even know if Jesus existed. Why should I believe your facts? Well,
And here we go. Start the logical fallacies.
Because the 5 facts I'm going to give you are backed by so much historical evidence that most professional critical scholars who study the subject accept them as true.
There we go. Most professional scholars accept something as true, therefore it must be true. And there's no way that these people could be wrong. They're infallible. These people are gods. Because if they believe something to be true, it's true. That's proof. Right there. They believe. Therefore it's true. Isn't that rational? Just because a group of people, or all people in the world even, accept something as true, is not proof that that is true. Truth is independent of anybody's acceptance of it. Hey.
That includes skeptical atheist scholars. Okay, so Jesus was a guy who actually existed and then got himself killed.
Nope, he wasn't.
So what? That's the first fact. Second, his disciples were convinced that he rose from the dead and appeared to them.
There we go. The same fallacy, only much worse. Some illiterate, uneducated, gullible people believed in something 2,000 years ago, and to Christians that's proof. Or actually not proof, but proof. Whatever. How do you argue with these people? They are willing to accept bullshit and call it a fact because some other people believed in it. But then you give them an example of other people believing whatever you want, and all of a sudden the same criteria no longer applies. It's like playing tennis without a net. It doesn't work.
Third, Paul, a sworn enemy of the early Christians, suddenly became a Christian.
Actually, 3 and 4 are identical.
Fourth, Jesus' skeptical brother James also became a Christian.
What about Judy? Whatever. This is the same BS as the Anthony flu crap. Just because somebody decided to believe something from one point to the next is not proof that the belief is true. Countless of people started believing in the BS of horoscope. It's still BS. Just because somebody didn't believe in something and then decided to believe in it doesn't make it true. There are countless of psychological phenomena going on in that person's mind. Gullibility, inability to rationally think, etc., etc., etc. Has nothing to do with the proofs. And he's talking about facts. Yes, it's assumably that there is a fact that a certain person did not believe in something and was very strongly against it, and then in the next minute believed in it. That's not the proof of the validity of his belief. In no way whatsoever.
And fifth, the tomb where they put Jesus'
The tomb was empty.
body
The tomb was empty.
was empty.
Oh wow, it was empty. What are we gonna do?
And those are well-established historical facts.
Nope, they're not.
Right, but you can't just leave it there. These facts demand an explanation.
No, they don't. Why would they?
Otherwise, you've got a big hole in human history.
No, I don't.
Okay, here's an explanation. They all lied. It was a conspiracy. The most monumental prank ever perpetrated. His followers stole his corpse from the tomb and then started telling everybody he was alive.
That's the conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is it doesn't explain the facts. How do a few spineless fishermen
Well, first of all, it doesn't need to explain the facts because they're not facts, they're facts.
cringing in fear for their lives, subdue a bunch of well-armed, professional Roman guards, roll away
Right, because nobody ever fooled any professionals, especially soldiers, ever.
a 2-ton stone, steal a body,
How was the stone moved onto the place? It's the same way you can move it off to the place.
and hide it from a city swarming with people trying to find it. And why would they do it?
Aha! The appeal to motive fallacy. Why would they do it? Because if I'm unable to think of a reason, there mustn't be one.
disciples had absolutely nothing to gain by lying about Jesus' resurrection.
So, maybe they thought they were going to be popular. Maybe they had other motives. Maybe they were just crazy. They don't have to have a motive to do something. Lots of people do stupid stuff all the time. And most of those are done without any particular motive.
In fact, they were persecuted, and we have good historical evidence that 5 of them were martyred because of their claim that Jesus rose from the dead. Apparently not a single one of them ever recanted.
They strongly believed. So what? Go find a radical Muslim and get him to recant his beliefs in Allah. Does that prove his belief? This is the criteria you're using. Amazingly, that criteria only works on your bullshit, not on other people's bullshit. Other people's bullshit is bullshit when the same criteria is applied. But your bullshit, those are facts because it's your bullshit.
People don't willingly die for something they know isn't true.
No, they don't die for something they know isn't true. They thought it was true. Doesn't mean that that it is true. Lots of people died for lots of things that they thought was true. Does not make it true, you dumbass.
True. They were there. They knew
No,
whether
they
it was
weren't
true
there.
or not.
Alright, another theory. The disciples thought they saw Jesus alive after he died, but it was just wishful thinking. They were stressed and just kind of hallucinating.
The hallucination theory also lacks explanatory power.
No, it doesn't.
500 witnesses saw Jesus at the same time.
No, it didn't.
And the disciples touched him.
Proof by assertion.
Psychologists have shown that hallucinations don't work like that.
Oh, yes.
Nor does this
Invent a bullshit claim, then pretend that this claim is true, and then, involve psychologists in explaining the thing that you simply claimed was true without any collaborative evidence. Where's the proof that they touched him? Where's the proof that he ever existed at all, let alone that somebody touched him after he died?
explain the empty tomb.
Okay, look. Maybe there's some other explanation, but the bottom line is dead people stay dead.
Here we go.
Rising from the dead would be a supernatural event.
Here we go.
And science has proven that miracles don't happen.
Here we go. The poor little atheist is talking out of his ass and doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Really? When did that happen?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just kind of heard it.
Yeah.
Science is not
Because atheists and scientists usually base their beliefs and their claims on, I don't know, I heard it somewhere, I don't know. I think I heard, it might not be true. Sorry about that.
In fact, that would be impossible.
Why?
Wait, hold on.
Science
What would be
deals
impossible?
In fact, that would be impossible.
Why? Just kind of heard it somewhere.
Science is not disproving miracles. In fact, that would be impossible.
No, it wouldn't be. Oh my God.
Why?
Science deals exclusively with natural phenomena.
Right. And Jesus rising from the dead on earth is not part of nature? Is earth not part of nature?
Physical matter and material processes, right?
Yeah.
But a miracle, by definition, is not a natural phenomenon. It's supernatural.
So
a supernatural event would lie outside the boundaries of science.
No, it wouldn't. A supernatural event that happens outside of the natural world would lie outside the domain of science. Anything that happens in the natural world is in the domain of science because it happened here. You know, in the space that actually exists, not in this bullshit fairy tale imaginary non-existing crap called supernatural. Where is this supernatural? What is this supernatural? Has anybody ever proven that supernatural is not just plain bullshit? Imaginary bullshit. No. Nobody has proven that supernatural exists. Yet here, and in lots of other things, it's used as a fact. Again, if it happened in the natural world, the cause is irrelevant. If the cause is supernatural, then it's the job of science to say, you know, guys, this thing happened. We think it's supernatural because we've analyzed it and it looks like it was, you know, Harry Potter waving Expecto Patronum bullshit. Or it was some other supernatural. There's no cause. Yet that doesn't happen because everything that science is not a thing, but scientists or rational people have ever applied the scientific method to turned out to be not magic.
It's logically impossible for
No, it's
science
not.
to throw out any hypothesis that lies outside its boundaries.
No, it's not. What are these boundaries? There are no boundaries. You have to demonstrate that the boundaries exist. You're simply claiming. You're asserting something without a single shred of evidence. You're asserting that there is this thing called supernatural. You're asserting that there is this boundary between natural and supernatural. But you have no proof of it. Nobody has proof of it because it doesn't exist. It's an imaginary bullshit. And even if it does exist, if something from that imaginary bullshit caused an event inside the natural world, it's in the domain of science.
Stuff before.
I don't know. Maybe because it's scary.
It's not scary. It's scarily stupid.
As long as Jesus rising from the dead is just a fairy tale, like Santa Claus and unicorns, it doesn't threaten my little world. But if it's a fact, if he actually did rise from the dead, that's huge. It's a total game changer. And that's why it's so hard to think about it objectively.
Wow. Talk about reverting the roles. As long as Jesus' bullshit is not a fairy tale, it does not affect your little world. And that's why it's hard for you to think about that simple fact that he never existed rationally, because it is scary for you. It is not scary for us, people who are able to accept evidence when such exists, real, actual evidence, not this bullshit, because we live in a real world and we accept the real world as it is. And so, if it is actually properly proven that supernatural exists and that it affects this natural domain somehow in some places, we're going to accept it. We're going to be excited about researching that thing. And you know what? Science is going to extend to that realm too. But until a single shred of evidence appears that the supernatural even exists, shut the fuck up.
Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa.
Big whoa.
Yeah, big whoa. This is just... I know I should not get upset about this, but stupid just pisses me off. It's rude maybe, but it is because I expect people to be smarter than myself. And when I get disappointed like this, which happens way too often, it for some reason upsets me. It upsets me because people present this as facts when it is absolute bullshit. And it is not difficult to see that it is bullshit. You just have to apply real, actual logic onto it and think about things objectively, not subjectively. Anyway, you saw the 5 facts. As I said, as long as somebody doesn't prove that there is this thing called supernatural, all these subjects are absolutely bullshit. Because without proving that this supernatural even exists, how can you talk about the specifics of it? How can you talk about some God that exists in that domain when you haven't proven that the domain itself exists? It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous.